What's up, everybody? It's Greg Birch with Delta Financial, and this is the Be the Difference podcast. This podcast is all about making you a better person in your life and in your business with coaching on sales, leadership, mindset, marketing, everything under the sun when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Today, I've got a great message for you. So, um, you know, I like to I like to share experiences from my life that I try to learn from and then also apply in order to help my mindset or to help my business and also share those with all of you. And so, um, by the time I'm recording this, we're in the middle of December, towards the end of December. But when this airs, it'll be obviously in January. But um, So some people know this, not everybody does, but I was in a relationship and we separated, and so um, you know that was and anytime you end a relationship, it's hard, right? It's difficult. There's heartbreak and there's pain and this, that, the other, and you have a choice on how you react to that. You can choose to fall into negativity. You can choose to be angry. You can choose to say hurtful things and lash out, allow your emotions to be wild like a raging fire, right? That goes out of control. And I like to use that pain as fuel. Okay. And so in the past, 2 months, ever since we separated, after we separated, she was very angry. This is not to disparage her at all. This is not the point. I always wish her the best, but she said some very negative things, and when she did, she said I was a Tony Robbins wannabe and that I was a fake and a fraud and I wasn't ever going to amount to anything. And that what she didn't realize is that motivated me because I love proving people wrong, right? And it allowed me to focus on myself. And when things like this happen, this is not the first time I've ever had, any kind of dark times in my life. When things like this happen, I I like to go into the dark spots of my mind and visit those inner demons and really analyze the validity of this, but also like welcome it. And I use it as a fuel in order to prove people wrong, in order to prove them wrong. And so, I told her I could tell that she was in a bad place. I could tell her that this was something difficult for her to get through, and I hate it for her. I hope that she has the best, that she's able to get through it, and always choose positivity. And I wished her well because I always want to be positive. I'm not going to allow my actions to change with somebody else's responses to me, right? Because we only have control of four things. We have control of what we say, we have control of what we do, we have control of what we think, and we have control of what we feel. And when you realize those are only four things that you can control, and it's not many things that you can control. That's it. Everything else, I can't control other people's actions. I can't control what people say about me. I can't control when a client doesn't buy, or I can't control when an agent is having a tough time, but I can control what I say about it. I can't control how I feel about it. I can't control what I think and then what I do. And I think too often people lose sight of what they can control and they try to control what they can't control. And that's where you get stuck in a rut. And that's where you get to a point to where you are focusing on the wrong things and you start to slide backwards in life and in business. And so today is all about finding that inner demon, that dark place in your mind and using that pain as fuel. And that's what I did. And I focused instead of being sad and upset that the relationship was ending, is because I didn't want the relationship to end. I wanted to fight for it. I wanted to make it be successful. But instead, what I did was, well, what can I do to be better? Right. And how can I how can I be the best version of myself? How can I be the most ideal? And so what I did was I decided that I was going to just focus on me and I was going to focus on being productive, being positive, spending more time writing and reading, manifesting more. And what I can tell you is that over the past even the most 45 days from now, I've there's a lot of things that I've been able to accomplish by just focusing on those things and using that pain as a way to push myself harder. Because every single time that I'm like, oh, well, I'm doing good, I'm like, nope, it's not good enough. I can do more. Right. And in the past 45 days, I've completely transformed my physique. I'm in the best physical shape I've ever been in my life. Okay. I feel the healthiest. I'm the happiest. I've I'm stronger. My stamina is better. I'm right now. I'm doing 500 push-ups a day. By the time this airs, I'll be doing probably 700 push-ups a day, every single day, on top of my workouts. Okay. Um, I I booked 3 stages. I've been wanting to do public speaking for a long time, and I've stood on stages and spoke before, but I've got 3 big stages that I'm speaking at that I'm very excited about in 2023 that I've been able to make connections with and I have that are scheduled. One of them is gonna be a lot of people. It's gonna be about 10,000 people. I started and finished my first book. I've been wanting to write a book for a while. I've been told people have been telling me you should write a book. And I always pushed it off, pushed it off, pushed it off. And I was like, yeah, I should, I should, I should. And I had an idea and I was kind of formulating the idea, but I finally, you know what? I'm going to put words on a page and I'm going to just start going. And in 30 days, I was able to finish my book. I literally just finished it a few days ago. And I'm working with publishers now and I'm working with editors now and agents in order to get that a publishing deal. And by the time this airs, I might have a publishing deal. I intend to, right? I've already given out to some close people of mine that have read it and they're like, dude, this book's really great. Like you're a really good writer and this is a great story. And I'm excited to unleash that in 2023 to all of you that are here and that are listening. Um, you know, I made changes to my business, and I manifested some really great opportunities that are now coming up. We have a new lead source that I've been working to get for a long time. Exclusive, ex- fresh mortgage protection mailers that I can get for all the agents and for new agents coming on board. I'm super excited about that. Like I've been trying to get fresh exclusive mailers for just for Delta Financial for the longest time. And it's very difficult, right? Because all these companies are either third party or a company, another IMO already owns it. And so getting into that space is really difficult. And a lot of third party companies are all tied up. They're locked out of counties. It's very difficult to get um, that kind of lead source because that's what agents want to have a multitude, not just digital leads. They want to be able to have digital leads. They want to be able to sell to friends and family, do warm market. They want to be able to be taught how to do ads themselves so they can create their own lead platform and generate leads on their own. But they also want to have mailers because mailers are still relevant today. Now, I don't think they're going to be relevant forever, but they're still relevant. And so there's all these things that are happening within the business. Hell, I scheduled a run, a marathon. I've wanted to run a marathon for years just to do it, just to say I did it, right? Just to say I mentally conquered that and I accomplished it. The longest I've ever done is a half marathon. And you know what? I started running every day. And now I've got to the point where I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a marathon. And I committed to it. I bought the ticket, going to Nashville in April 22nd, 2023 for the Hard Rock Marathon. I'm super excited. Anyone that wants to come with me, let me know. I'll send you a link that you can buy your ticket. You can do a half marathon, you can do a 10K, 5K, 10 mile or whatever. Like there's different race amounts. But I'm super excited for that. Like, I'm going to push myself beyond anything I've ever done mentally and physically in that event. And I can't wait to reach those new heights. And I did all this because I used that pain and that negativity as fuel. And I'm telling you this because I know every single person that watches this, every single person in existence has challenges and obstacles in their life. They have sometimes people just have bad shit that happens to them. It happens, right? You can choose how you react to those things. You can choose to be the victim You can choose to be poor, woe is me. You can complain about it, and you can get nowhere except for some sympathy from other people that are not doing anything else with their life. Or you can choose to change and hone the life that you deserve. You can choose to be a more positive person. You can choose to use all that pain and negativity as a fuel source to drive your actions, to be the best version of yourself. And I highly recommend that you take a deep look within and you find ways to improve and to be better. Don't you know that and I'm telling you this story not to complain. I wish that person the best. I do. I'm not angry or mad. There's no animosity or negativity from me. And it's not to complain. It's to showcase that you can choose how you react. And I'm going to end this with a quick story. There's somebody named Damon West. You should go look him up. Go follow him on Instagram. His story is powerful. But this is a person that seemingly had it all going for them. Had everything lined up to be the best version of himself. And something terrible happened. He was in college football, looking full ride scholarship, looking like he looked like he was going to be in the NFL. Lost it all. He got injured. So instead, he goes into finance, goes works at Wall Street. I may be butchering the story, but I'm pretty sure it's close. Goes to work at Wall Street, and he's successful there. He falls into a wrong crowd of people that are doing drugs, and drugs takes over his life. He loses everything, becomes homeless. He's in Dallas too. He ends up banding a bunch of homeless people together, and they start breaking into wealthy people's home in North Dallas, in like uptown Addison area. Well, he got caught, and he ended up going to prison. He had a 65-year life sentence to go to one of the craziest, worst prisons that you could ever go to. And when he was going into prison, he talked to somebody in jail that made an impact on him that this is what he talks about. He talks about the power of it. And this guy tells him that, that life and jail is a lot like a boiling pot of water. And that there's different types of people. And he says that there's some type of people are carrots. And those carrots, what are carrots before they get put in the water, boiling water? They're hard. But what happens to them when they get put in the boiling pot of water? They get soft. So when challenging situations or difficulties come their way, what do? They get soft, they get weak, they break down. They're the victim. Are you the carrot in your life? Do you know some carrots? There's also eggs. Now, eggs have a hard shell, but on the inside, it's soft. What happens when you put an egg in water? That inside gets hard. So some people are gentle souls, they're good people. But then when something negative happens, difficulty comes their way, it hardens their heart. It changes them. And they end up taking a life of negativity, pessimism. Right? And then there's a coffee bean. What happens to a coffee bean when it gets thrown in that water? Nothing to the coffee bean. But the coffee bean changes that hot water, that boiling water, to coffee. It changes the environment around it. And you do that through positivity. You can always choose in your life with situations that happen. You can choose to be a carrot, you can choose to be an egg, or you can choose to be a coffee bean. You can choose to be the most positive self and change the environment and change the people, be an inspiration for others to follow. And that's what I choose to do. So when you look at your life, look at all the hardships that you're facing, look at all the difficulties and the challenges. I implore you to find a way to be a coffee bean. If you had any value from this, if you learned anything, if you grew, then do me a favor. Share this content with somebody else that can also learn something from it, that can grow and be the best version of themselves. Okay. We grow by word of mouth. So I need your help to share this show. I also need your help. Go ahead and do me a favor and share or do a review on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star review if you like this content. This has been the Be the Difference podcast. I'm your host, Greg Birch. Until next time, we'll see you.